Uh, Fucking Esau, man. He just going down, man. All I can say is, man, is give praises, to Yahweh and Yahushua for these things that's happening right now, and it's coming for us, before our eyes. And we got to give, double honors to the elders and apostles that have taught us, these things to come, and also the prophets that prophesied these things that's happening. It's funny how how we've been out there teaching the last couple of years on things things that's coming. And right now, this interview, here right here with Trump's, he arguing with reporters. It just setting the tone of what's to come to America and how divided these people are. And we've been laughing, scoffed at, and these things is coming to pass where you got a lot of these so-called white people, or you got some Israelites out there that's into these politics. They very divided when it's come to politics and the way that these people govern them and rule over them. You know, you have people that like the style, the government that's currently available, like the Republican Party, and you have some that's not, but they're actually Democratic. And the things that I want to talk about is pretty soon it's gonna be it ain't gonna be about words anymore. It's not gonna be about words. Pretty soon you're gonna be seeing arguments that's gonna spark out, and you're gonna see a WWE Royal Rumble WrestleMania coming down, just like you seen before a couple years back with Ukraine, where they wanted to switch. They wanted a certain style of government, and violence, was the answer for them to do so. And the outcome to that was Ukraine going into the Euro Asian Union. The same rules apply with America. It just shows you that these Edomites, these politicians, they're out the door. And this setting, like I said, setting the tone. I'm for to play some more. I'm for to play some.
Ads showing migrants climbing over walls and so on.
That's true. But they weren't actors.
They're not going to be doing that.
They weren't actors. Well, no, it's true. Do you think they were actors? They weren't actors. They didn't come from Hollywood. Right. These were people. This was an actual. It happened a few days ago. And
they're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. That's not an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN. All right. And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President, if I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President, I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President,
that's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that you may have?
I'm not concerned about anything with the Russian investigation because it's a hoax. That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
Mr. President.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.
I think that's unfair.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way. Go ahead. Go ahead, Peter. Go ahead.
In Jim's defense, I've traveled with him and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts his butt.
Well, I'm not a big fan of yours either, so
I understand.
To be honest.
Man, he does belittle them, man. This is your president. These are things that's happening right now. You have a lot of concern with the politics. Your government. It just they look for answers, they not getting it, and both of these parties is not doing so. They don't have no answers. It's just the most that putting that spirit divide, the division among these government, amongst your government. And years down the line, maybe a couple of months or so, it's gonna be violence that's gonna spring out. So to say, I'm fit to go on with the video. This happened This happened today, but I'm finna go on.
So let me ask you a question if I can. You repeatedly said...
You aren't the best.
Mr. President, you repeatedly, over the course of
Okay, just sit down, please. Well, when you report fake news, when you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
Mr. President, over the course of the last several days of the campaign, sir, at the end of the campaign, you repeatedly said that Americans need to fear Democrats. You said Democrats would unleash a wave of violent crime that endangers families everywhere. Why are you
Because
pitting
they're very weak on
Americans?
crime.
Why are
Excuse
you
me.
pitting Americans
Peter.
against one another, sir?
Peter, what are you trying to be?
Say you putting the Americans against each other, but he's not putting Americans against each other. America, when it comes to politics and the style of governments, that they always been divided. They've been like this since they've been forming parties, and the Most High put that device tool in there. When the time comes for them to break them apart, it's gonna go into prophecy. But it's turning this you let these clowns right here, you're electing these clowns as politicians. You might as well, you're gonna expect a circus. That's what you're seeing right here is a damn circus. They disagreeing, and they getting attacked. They attacking trying to make the president look bad, and this is your president. This the man that ruling over you, and you making him look bad, ask some strifeful ass questions like this. I'm gonna go on.
Let me just tell you, very simple, because they're very weak on crime, because they have often suggested, members and people within the Democrat Party at a high level have suggested getting rid of ICE, getting rid of law enforcement. That's not going to happen. Go ahead, take the. Well, I'll give you voters. I will give you voter suppression. You just have to sit down, please. Sit down. I didn't call you. I didn't call you. I'll give you voter suppression. Take a look at the CNN polls, how inaccurate they were. That's called voter suppression. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I'm not responding. I'm responding to. Excuse me. I'm not responding to you. I'm talking to this gentleman. Would you please sit down?
The Israelite woman.
Excuse me. Would you please sit down? Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now that the House of Representatives
Very hostile. It's such a hostile media. It's so sad. You asked me about. No, you rudely interrupted him. Go ahead.
But man, there's a spirit that's gonna happen, man. He's saying they're hostile and everything, but pretty soon you're gonna be seeing, senators fighting each other, the House, the governors. You're gonna be seeing all these things is gonna happen. It's going right into prophecies, as it's said. This goes right into the scripture. This is Matthew 12:25. And I constantly keep reading this, and it constantly proving the scriptures. And Jesus, was Yahweh Shai, knew their thoughts, and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is prone to destruction. In every city, my bad. And Jesus knew their thoughts, and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. And every city and house divided against itself should not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How should his kingdom stand? Like you see right now. Alright, that's that's my phone. But it says and he should say to them, this is on Luke 10:18, and he said to them, and beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Because this man gonna fall real quickly, because not only that you divided, but you also got a handful of enemies. It says in Isaiah 14, hell from underneath thee. Gonna raise up. That's talking about the other nations. You have China, you have Russia that's against the agenda. And you also had Trump that's against the agenda of the deep state. You look at that word deep, that means secret. Okay? That means your secret government. because he trying to steer into another direction over that new world order. But that chip is still gonna come to play. You know, they is still gonna try to do it, but they gonna be clumsy doing it. You know, you're gonna have some other Edomites, so-called white people, that's not gonna be with it, but you know, things is gonna happen. But I go to this is Isaiah 19:1. The burden of ease, behold, the Lord ride upon a swift cloud, and should come unto Egypt, and the idols of Egypt should be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt should melt in the midst thereof. I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city. You know what's going to order that city against city? Your government is going to issue that. You're going to have Democrats, you're going to have Republicans, you're going to have difference. You're going to have a lot of differences in these coming days between the nation of Edom, Esau, and kingdom against kingdoms. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. Because it's failing as we see it right now. When it's talking about Egypt, it's not talking about the old Egypt. This is in Isaiah. You know, this, Isaiah was this after, we got out of Egypt. This long further, after that we got out of Egypt. And this talking about America. And the spirit of Egypt should fail in the midst thereof. You know, as it's feeling now, your government, they just incompetent. They just incompetent. They don't know what the fuck to do. And I will destroy the counsel thereof, and thou shalt seek to the idols into the chamber, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. All right, you got a lot of people that's in this government, a lot of them. That's like in the they in the different fraternities. They under that craft. They call it that's in the Freemasonry. They call it a craft, man. They call it a craft. They gonna go after these things. They gonna go after these spirits, and they gonna be seeking answers, and they not gonna get them. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hands of a cruel Lord. A furious king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. That's what you're seeing now. That might be him. The way I never seen any president that come up, so furious. He's a Republican. He just despised Democrats so much. Other presidents before him, they used to put up this persona. They man holier than now, and all nice and gentle and things like that. But behind closed door, they something completely else. But with this man, he's straight honest. He's straight honest. And I give Trump this, man. I like that. I fucking respect that. Cause this man, he telling you what it is and how it is and what to do it. And like what to do. He trying to be more of a president. He trying to be a ruler over his nation. Whether you people like it or not, you didn't vote for Trump, but guess what? He's still your president. This is still the symbol of your leadership. This is a symbol of leadership of America. And you despise what it is, you're supposed to have a certain amount of respect, but these people just don't have no respect for him because of his policies and things of that nature. And I'm finna go on now. I'm finna skip on to 2nd Esdras chapter 15. First, I'm finna start from I'm gonna start from 14. Woe to the world and to them that dwell therein. This is out the Apocrypha, so you know. For the sword and their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. for there should be a sedition among men, which you're gonna see. And this interview kind of set the tone of it a little bit, but it's gonna be much more worse in the coming days. I'm finna go on invading one another. Okay, they should not regard their kings nor prince in the course of the actions stand in their power. That's what's gonna happen. The people gonna be seeing more of these happen. They're gonna be seeing that your own government is having a WWE SmackDown in the congregation. You're gonna be seeing politicians get killed in their own congregation. In the house. You're gonna be seeing senators get killed. You're gonna be seeing governors get killed. You're gonna see you're gonna see all these types of things gonna happen, and the people is gonna start losing confidence in this government, and the power gonna stand in their own hands. With that, I just want to make a little short video. With that, say shalom.